Good evening, everybody. My name is John with HSFL Paranormal. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's enjoying their night so far. Please put a message in the chat letting me know how you're doing tonight. I hope sincerely everybody's doing well tonight. Alrighty, we're about to get started here. Alrighty, we are live here on YouTube. What is going on, fam? Good to see everybody. Hope all is well. I am going to read the message here. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Robert Hudson, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming. All right, we got Tammy Burgess Rock Fam. What's going on? Scaredy Cat's in the house. What's up, Scaredy Cat? Rebecca C is in the house. What is up, Rebecca C? All right. Got some interesting stuff in the chat before the live even started. So, alrighty, we're going to get started here. And tonight's going to be scary ghost stories in the dark. I do have my night camera lighting somewhere. Don't know at this moment. I will get there. Just kind of like to spend the first half an hour talking to people in the chat, seeing what's up with them. Been having kind of a couple of rough days here, but trying to get through it. Let's see, Jamie Shipman, what's going on? I'll pass the dark. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Got speaker, spirit box. Don't know if I'll be using that tonight. Okay, I'm going to be putting my spirit box up here just in case anything interesting happens. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes energy in my house shifts from place to place. I got some different EVP recorders. Here's the other one. This is the Olympus VN541 PC. This is the one that I get some crazy stuff on. Hey, what's going on? Hazel Eye Vixen, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. All right, can you see the... I guess you can't see the... There we go. Just in case the EMF reader decides to go haywire tonight. Kim, what will John do without his stalker on here, right? I might not be on long. I have family over. Early Easter. They're going all the way. Oh, okay. Gotcha, Kim. No problems. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome, Robert. Thank you so much for coming. I'm glad it's your first time here. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I'm trying to figure out a different lighting setup because the lighting in here ain't all that great. I got that crappy overhead lighting. I'm going to try to hook up. Kind of didn't think this through because I was kind of napping and almost forgot about this stream. Yeah, this is just not going to happen. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, my window. Yeah. I'm going to switch the lighting in here because the lighting is just awful. There we go. That should be a lot better. Okay. Hey, Bambi, Shafay, the fam. How's it going? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. 15 people in the house. JCT is in the house. Welcome, JCT. Welcome to the stream. Yes, the meter is on and running here. The light is green, so should be interesting to see what happens with that throughout the stream. I've caught some crazy stuff from my blinds getting pulled down to crazy orbs going on. So it's just going to be all depending on where the energy is and if Janet might want to interact. And if anybody doesn't know who Janet is, she is the spirit of the lady who died right here in this room. She constantly likes to make some interaction. So yeah, so let's see what happens here tonight. Maybe we'll get an EVP session done in this room. I don't think I've done an EVP session with the Olympus recorder. So it should be interesting to see what we find. Thank you so much. 9 o'clock here, Kat? Yes, it is 9 o'clock, 9:02. It's midnight there, yeah, on the East Coast, yeah. I'm doing this a little bit earlier than I usually do, just because of my work schedule. I have to work morning tomorrow, so I'm glad to see everybody coming into the chat. So far, I don't think I missed anybody. I'm trying to stay up on the comments here. Okay, cool. I'm shaken, to be honest. LOL. There's nothing to be afraid on this stream. I don't have any real evil spirits in my house. Just kind of and yes, Rebecca C is still here. I don't really have any evil spirits in my house. It's just kind of the normal energy I get in my house consistently. I've been waiting to contact my dad through a spirit box. But isn't the true evil ones that come through the spirit box would pretend to be your loved ones? It's possible that it can happen. I can do a spirit box in my house if you guys want me to do that. I don't know. I just feel like I got rid of whatever negative entity was in my house. Yes, I could technically bring it back with something, but yeah, I'm going to take your guys' option of if you want me to do that or not. But I can definitely do some Spirit Box EVP sessions and get that rolling. That's what I'm wondering if my dad will try. Pass? You don't know, you guys don't want to use the Spirit Box? Hey, Carolyn Hawthorne, what's going on? Yeah, exactly. If I use the Spirit Box, I'll make sure I pray. I think I should pray regardless. Anytime I'm dealing with entities, good or bad, I like to pray, make sure I have my protection. Lord, our Father, Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom, the power, and glory forever and ever. Amen. Yep. God, I ask you to put a shield and light and love and protection, a kind of shield around me and the people listening. I ask that any spirits who would like to communicate with us can do so by using the spirit box or any EVPs, by ask no evil spirits to come through and affect anybody. I ask only for positive energy and clear responses. And I ask you to shield the people listening in the chat as well as myself and my family here. Amen. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Yep. Wear your armor, exactly. Yep. I'm feeling more confident with using it in my house. I want to do it for the evidence portion of it. It's not going to be the main focus of tonight, but I definitely want to see if I can get any more responses.
Power on. Now is oxy mode.
Does anybody want to speak with us? How many spirits are here with us? Who here wants to speak with us? Hi, who is this? Hey, Kayla. Hey, Brenda. Did you say your name, sir? Do you like when I talk to you through this? Do you like when I talk to you through this device? Thank you. Did you hear the little girl's voice say thank you? Is your name Patrick? My name is John. I'm here to communicate with you. I come with love and peace and kindness. I'm back. What would you like to tell us? Do you have a message for me or anybody in the chat?
That's a free thing.
Oh, I'm a freak. Night, JCT. Have a great rest of your night. Could you give us the number of spirits that are here with me? Do you have a message for anybody in the chat? Thank you for touching the EMF reader. Did that EMF meter just move like that? I swear that EMF meter just moved by itself. You're gonna have to go back and review that. Worried?
Jesus Christ.
Whoa! This is in reverse mode. It just said Jesus Christ. Wow. That was mind-blowing. I can't believe that. I'm mind-blown. Are you with Jesus in heaven? Yeah. Is Robert Hudson's dad here with us? It's possible. Could you say his name? I just got the chills big time. It just got like 20 degrees cooler in here. Friend?
Low battery.
That was the device. Who is here with me? Can you say your name? Can you tell me?
Low battery.
I have another speaker. Is there still a war going on between good and evil? Nope. No. Robert Hudson wants to ask you if you're at peace. So what?
Low battery.
Robert's dead. Are you at peace?
Low battery.
Okay, I gotta come out. Can I,
Low battery.
can I speak to Robert's dad? No. All right, I will respect you. See you on the front. What did you mean by see you on the front?
Low battery.
Hey, Abraxas. He was in a war?
Low battery. Power off.
Okay. So thank you, spirits, for speaking with me. I do appreciate it. Aw, Kim Fitzgerald, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to find my other speaker so I can continue with this. I'll be right back, guys. Hey, Mom. It's not gonna be loud. Okay. Oh, here it is. Got it. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna be just replacing one speaker with the other. Kim, thank you so much. I need to have my stream. Hold on. Mom, you gotta disconnect your Bluetooth. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm back. Hey, Cryptid559, what's good? Yeah, it's all good. I just had to have my mom disconnect her. I think this should be good. Okay, there. So, Spirits, what did you want to say to us?
And we've got super.
It got super. This is in reverse mode.
It's protected from you.
It's protected from there? What's protected?
Is it spring?
Is it spring? Yes, it is spring.
Economic.
Hey, crazy C.
License and schedule.
I'm gonna be at work tomorrow, Ben. I might not be able to. Is there anybody who has a message for their loved ones?
It's kind of like.
And what are you talking about the front lines? Who's at war?
It's request 981 point. Cover. You can also check out.
When it said Jesus Christ, I was mind blown. Forgive me? What do we need to forgive you for?
Oh, really?
Are there any 9/11 victims here? Hey, Jen. tabs in.
Let's see now.
Can you tell me how you died? Did you say, forgive me, I was mean?
Birthday.
Somebody's birthday? Whose birthday? I'm doing a spirit box session, Ben Espinoza. Well, happy birthday.
Okay.
Is Eric there? Can Eric speak with us? Hey, little pixie. Who is this battle between?
Good.
Eric, are you here? Hi. How are you? You're well? That's good. Do you have your message for Donna? Mom? Wow. No.
Jewel.
Crown Jewel? Do you have a message, Eric? Ethan? Hello, Ethan. Oh, meter just went off. Is Robert's Uncle Don here with us?
answer the
Didn't answer the phone. Well, thank you, spirits, for speaking with us. Have a good one. Wow. That was clear. Bye. Oh, wow. Guys, that was a pretty intense spirit box session. Sorry to hear that, Robert. All right. God, I ask you to put that shield and light and protection around me and everybody watching. I ask everybody to shake them off so there's no hitchhikers. All right. I ask you to leave. I asked you to leave before I got started. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen, that there's no bad spirits that will affect us here. A lot did come through, yes. Yep, shake them off, guys. That was a pretty crazy spirit box session. Now that that happened, I'm interested to try the EVP recorder because now it seems like it's really active tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if I pick up anything on the EVP recorder. Who was speaking to me on the spirit box? Who was the spirit who said Jesus Christ? Do you have a message for us? Can you tell us the number of spirits that were trying to communicate with us? Is there any way you can touch that meter right there? Move these lights from green to red? What war were you talking about? You said that there was a battle on some kind of a front. Could you mention what you were talking about? Thank you for speaking with us. Alright, I'm gonna plug this into. Who is speaking to me on the spirit box? Spirit box. Okay, what were those footsteps? That's a weird sound. Hey, Kit Kat. Hey, Lee and Ladybug. The spirit who said exploring. Jesus Christ. Oh, you know what that is? That's the washer behind me. That's what that sound is. It's the washer. Debunked. Sounds like a voice. Sounds like it says help me, like in a whisper. I can't make it out. Do you have a message for us? So the thing in the background, I totally forgot, is the washer. Hey, Belinda. Can you tell us the number of spirits that were trying to communicate with us? Oh. It says, I did. Is there any way? It says I did, like super loudly and clearly, but like in a whisper.
Is there any way you can touch that meter right there? Move these lights from green to red?
I'm hearing something.
What war were you talking about? You said that there was a battle on. What war were you talking about?
That boom boom is the washer behind me. That's not the EVP.
You said that there was a battle on some kind of a front. Could you mention what you were talking about?
It sounds like something's whispering this whole time. Something whispered. I don't know what's saying.
Thank you for speaking with us.
So I'll show you the last week's. This will blow your mind.
EVP session, my house. Is there anybody who would like to speak with me?
Yeah, this is dead silent. Nothing was going on. This is like 2, 3 a.m.
I heard something about I'm freezing. Could you tell me more?
Listen to this. When I ask about the question of God,
Was it you that said God was great?
said no.
Is there anything you would like to tell me? Why do you frequent my house?
Oh yeah, that night that all blew our minds. Still, nothing will blow my mind as much as using this, and it's not hacked. There's nothing to it. It's just a digital recorder. But when I brought this to the Pioneer Saloon, now that I got this hooked up to the speaker, listen to this.
I'm recording again. All right.
That voice was not there.
You can't really see much through the dark if you can't have the light on. Is there anybody who wants to speak into this device? If so, can you tell us your name?
That talking in the background is another lady.
Do you want a shot of whiskey with us?
Did you hear that? This is at the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada.
How many spirits are sitting here at the bar with us?
Abab Sin. Right? I see you, Danny. Listen, there's nobody in our group named Danny. Yeah, we had a shot of whiskey with them. I see you, Danny.
Did you like the radio? Or the jukebox?
Clear no.
Was that you who just affected the lights behind the alcohol bottles?
I did, Danny. That part I don't know what I said.
Is that you touching my head?
Hey, sharpshooter.
Is this the bartender that was here?
Hey, Don.
Or Peter? Were you the one messing with the TV earlier while we were gone and you turned it on?
Hey, Wonder Pup. What's going on, man?
Did you possibly do that again or move something else here on the shelf?
Just to verify, those whispers were not us. Hey, Miss Monty P.
Do you think you could light that K2 meter right there on the table for me? I feel somebody standing like right in front of me or right beside me. Thank you.
It says, "You're welcome," loudly and clearly.
Thank you so much for touching.
Listen to this. Okay, that was...
Thank you so much for touching the K2. I really appreciate
Hey,
it.
Prankster Lock. What's up, buddy?
If you're the bartender, can you do 2 blanks on the EMF? If there's somebody else, do 1 blank.
So then it goes into part 2.
So the EVP session. Who is that
Said
that just
hi.
tapped behind me? Could you come forward to the table and let us know who you are?
That was obvious.
Who's the obvious? Okay, I'm sitting in the same seat that I was before and it's still moving. Who is that? Am I sitting in your seat?
Guys, share this out.
Is this my key?
I don't think it gets crazy until like the later half of this. Oh, thank you, Belinda. I appreciate it.
So you liked when I talked about the whiskey at the bar. Could you tell me your favorite brand?
I mean,
Was that you knocking?
I'm still working with Presence of the Unknown, but I've got some of my own projects in mind.
Yeah. Could you knock on one of these pictures? I think you're right.
Soon you'll hear something very interesting. Sounds like an airplane flying over. Right here. The crazy part about that airplane flying over is there's no airport anywhere near there. But in 1942, only 2 miles away from this location, there was a horrific plane crash that caused the deaths of over 22 people. So yeah, very, very interesting that I heard that plane flight go over.
Can you finish this for us? Who's that making me dizzy right now?
So that's the end of that EVP session. But yeah, you guys get the hint. It was pretty crazy place. Some of the best, by far, some of the best EVPs that I've ever captured in a location. Sorry, going back through the comment. Paige Lee says she believes I can see pictures if I ask her to show. Oh, wow. That's cool, Scaredy Cat. See, I obtained my sense of the paranormal through a near-death experience. Those who don't know my story. You can look up more of my story on my website. I'm not going to go into the full detail. Country Girl Paranormal Rock Fam. Oh, I have lots of experiences too, man. No, I didn't see your message, country girl. Having a hard time finding it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Country girl paranormal. I didn't see it. Was it knocking sounds that echoes? I'm not sure. No, still doing your own thing. Yeah, so I'm still working with Presence of the Unknown, guys. Look on your messenger. Did you send it to my regular Facebook or did you send it to... Hold on. I think I answered your question back, City Girl Country Heart, or City Girl Paranormal. But anyway, I don't want to get into it tonight, guys. I just want to enjoy the stream. I'm going to pull up some scary stories. But first of all, I'm going to try to share this out to a few more locations. I don't think I've shared it to Facebook. Let me see. Let's see. Ooh, 25 messages on Facebook. Jesus. All right. Hold on, you guys. I'm just trying to share this out as many places that I can drop my link into. But hopefully, you guys shared this out. Let's see here. Too long we're hanging there. You rocked it last night. Glad you're here. Oh, Brenda, you know Robert? Well, say this. I haven't had my hair stand up and felt such a presence in a long time. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, Robert. I've been studying this now for over 6 years. Hey, Elizabeth H., how you doing? So I do have this light, too. Oh, never mind. Looks like it was the old battery. Oh, actually, no, there wasn't even a battery in there. Huh. Let's see. This light's pretty cool. I don't know how bright this is going to be. Okay, let's see. It looks dark now. And you see the infrared, which you're not going to be able to see much of in this with this camera because it's not technically an infrared camera. Be cool to get an infrared filter for this camera, and I might look up how to do that. But there's this. Ah, shit. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be able to stand. This will be perfect for the scary stories, but if I can find a good place for it. Let's see if I can keep it upright on this. Nope, that's not gonna work either. Okay, I think that's gonna work. Let me know how you guys, if you guys like this in order to tell the scary stories. Hey, Susie T06, what's going on? Yeah, it just got instantly dark. A lot of personal, hurtful stuff. There's so much more to the story of me and my dad. Well, my prayers and hopes go out to you and your family, Robert, from my family to yours. Hope everything goes well. Yeah, it was pretty cool. They were talking to a few of you guys. It was talking to Donna and Robert. You guys like the light, or do you like the other light better? Is this more spooky to you? Hey, beautifully me, what's going on? Good to see you. Looks cool. Better for spooky stories. Okay. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Beautifully me. All right. So let's see. Scary. I'm going to try to read it closer to my... Try to have it closer to me so I could read it. Though I might not be able to see the chat, this might be an issue. Okay, but there is a way I will pop out. Though I might not be able to see the chat, this might be an issue. Come on, don't do this. Okay, but there is a way. Okay. Oof. Man. All right. And here we go. So now I have the chat up and I can read the scary stories. All right, this first story is called The Stairs. Two men named Banner and Griswold were hitchhiking on a lonely country road. There were no cars that would stop for them. They were tired and sick of walking. The sun was coming up fast and they needed a place to spend the night. They came across an old deserted house and decided to seek shelter inside. The garden was overgrown with weeds and brushes. Overgrown with weeds and brush. The front door cracked open. The rusty hinges and the carpet of dust lay on the floor. The two men took out some tins out of their backpack and ate a small meal. Then they unrolled their blankets on the floor and made themselves a comfortable place to sleep. In the middle of the night, Griswold was suddenly awakened to a terrible, troubled sleep. In the dark, was shivering and cold, and all of a sudden he heard a strange noise. It was like a high-pitched whistling sound. and then just noticed his friend. Banner was standing in the shadows, listening closely, as if he was in some trance. And then the man began walking up the stairs, his boots clompering on the wooden steps. The shrill of the whistle was growing louder. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped. Griswold was holding his breath. He waited and waited, and then he heard an awful scream, "Ah!" And then split the silence of the night, almost made him jump out of his skin. The footsteps resumed and came back down the stairs. Griswold was trembling in fear. He saw a pair of boots walking slowly down the stairs in the moonlight. He could see a groping hand on the banister. The ghastly chill ran down Griswold's spine, and then he saw the other hand. It was clenching a bloody hatchet. Then he caught sight of his friend's face. It was deathly pale. His eyes were glazed over, and his mouth was twisted in a ghoulish grin. Blood was dripping from his forehead from a huge gash that almost split his skull in two. Griswold let out a blood-curdling scream and fled the house. He blindly ran through the pitch black, desperately trying to get away from the old house. He ran and ran, all the time imagining his friend chasing him with a bloody axe until his bloody head and his ghastly death grin. He ran and ran until he collapsed exhausted. The next morning, he managed to find a police station and told the sheriff what he had seen. Together, they went back to the old house. Griswold's blood ran cold with the thought that they might find. The sheriff opened and creaked open the door, looked inside. Griswold peered nervously in his corner, peeked nervously over his shoulder. On the floor was his friend. Banner was laying face down in a pool of blood. His head almost caved in half, and his dead hand was still clenching the middle of the hatchet. The blade of the hatchet was embedded into the floor in the exact same spot where Griswold's head had been lying the night before. The sheriff searched the house from top to bottom, but he couldn't find another living soul. Oh, sorry, was the whistle too loud? My bad. Hey, I got a scared reaction out of certain people, so that's a good thing. Something's working. I lived in a haunted house as a kid. Oh, wow. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. Exactly. All right. My meter is still right there. You can't really see it because it's really dark, but I think my battery's dying in that light. So I'm trying to find another 9-volt real quick here while I try to do these stories. I need to have like a full battery. I think that one was on its way out. There we go. That's so much brighter. It actually hurts my eyes a little bit, so that's how I know it's working. There we go. That's much brighter. Woo! That one's bright. That's much spooky. Nice little lady hung herself in our garage. What? Hunted trucking. Are they talking? No. Blinded by the light. She was tired of the abuse from her alcoholic husband. Oh, that sucks. Smile for the ladies, John. They seem to love it. What? You see. You got me to smile now. Thanks. Well, you got what you wanted. Oh, that's cool. Ray. Hold on. Guys, I'm waiting to see if this is really happening right now. But Ray the Fam and Kevin the Fam, I'm not going to say it yet. I'm waiting for Ray's confirmation. I'm trying to see. No, they're not here. Hey, D-Zombified, what's up? Hey, Sheila, how's it going? He said, I'm here with Kevin. And then he asked me if I was in bed. So I'm like, are you here? Hey, are you in San Luis Obispo? Oh, you're in Fresno with Kevin? Wait, where are you at? Oh, you're down south with Kevin the Fam? Nice. Oh, okay, cool. All right, man. Well, you're actually live with me on my show right now, so. All right, man. All right, peace. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. I got confused because he said, I'm here with Kevin the Fam. He's down in Southern California with Kevin the Fam right now. So I got a little mixed up there. That's okay. D-Zombified, I've been really good. Hey, Christina and Son Ghost Squad, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Hope everybody's having a good night tonight. Indiana. I was like, damn, is he here in Central California? That would be crazy right now. But no, he's down in past LA. That's cool. How are you, Christina? Just woke up. Nice. All right, we're gonna get back to the scary stories. It's just a weird text message because it seemed like he said he was here. That's why I got all confused. I was like, that'd be cool if they were dropping up and saying hi. All right, this one is called The Laughing Man. Hey, it's awesome that you could catch me live, Christina. I really appreciate you stopping by. Did you have another channel name? I don't think I've ever seen you in here before, but it might be somebody I know and you might have just changed your channel. Beautifully me, yeah. You can ask me a question. What's going on? Uh, hey, little Step Noel, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. No, I'm not good at twerk tonight, guys. Oh, you came from Lou Rock. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not twerking. Let's not do that. Yeah, beautifully me. What's your question? You're an empath too, right? Well, do you ever experience moments where you can tell what kind of person they were? To some extent, I can more feel their emotion of like often like you have your people who've done really bad things in their life. They're usually angry, hot tempered, kind of. So that's kind of how I experience it with the spirits. Then I have maybe ones that were really sad. I can feel those emotions, like the anger, sadness. Like I can feel when they're at peace and when they're not at peace. I can feel like the restlessness with the energy, and that's often what I feel in my house. So, that was really sad here. I'm sorry to hear that, Robert. Hopefully things get better. You might just want to say some prayers. All right, guys. Hope I answered your question there. Tell with live people. Oh yeah, I can sense it with live people as well. It doesn't just deal with spirits. I know when I'm walking into a bad situation before I even do it. I'll pop this over to a few more groups here. So I do have some interesting news to share. Let's see, hold on. Just give me a second here. Then I'll get to the story, I promise. I'm just trying to share this out to some groups so I can. What the hell? Sometimes Facebook hates me. I don't know why. Here we go. Okay. So I posted this to some new groups. I can't tell spirits' emotions, but I can tell when there's something there. Yeah, I can usually sense their emotions to that level. Hey, what's up? Redneck the fam. Sorry, buddy, I didn't see you come in. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. What the fuck? I keep getting an error. Yeah, sometimes it just randomly starts affecting. Hey, PA Hillbilly, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Ooh, almost 30 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Ron A, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. So guys, I'm just going to continue with the scary stories. So here we go with the next one. And this one's called The Laughing Man. There was a doctor who worked in a remote village in Africa. He was the only white person for miles. He had spent half of his life taking care of the local villagers, providing them with health and medical care. One day, a white man stumbled into a village. He could barely walk. He was laughing like a maniac. Ha 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 ha! His clothes were tattered and torn, and his hands and knees were covered in blood. His eyes were wild, and looked he looked exhausted. It seemed like he was out of his mind. The doctor gave him some water and tended to his wounds, but the man could not stop laughing. Ha 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 ha! The doctor gave him a sedative and put him to bed so he could rest. The man slept for hours, and then he woke up. The doctor gave him some food and tried to find out where he had come from. Who are you? The doctor asked. What are you doing here all alone in the jungle? I wasn't alone, the laughing man replied. I came here with my partner Jack Hunter. We were on an expedition to find the legendary Wahiki. This was what the locals called him, a rare species of ape. The Africans say that they're intelligent apes, almost as intelligent as humans, maybe more intelligent. We wanted to capture one and bring it to civilization to put it on display. It was supposed to make us seriously rich. We were supposed to hire a guide to take us into the Valley of the Apes, but none of the locals dared to go there. They were afraid of them. Where we were not going to let that stop us, so we brought a canoe and headed down the river. When we got to the Valley of the Apes, we made a camp. Hunter unpacked his traps and set up through the clearing in the jungle. We hid in the brushes, and we watched those traps for 3 whole days, but caught nothing. The apes were too smart for us. They knew what we were up to. They weren't going to fall for simple traps. A hunter had a better idea. So we dug a pit in the clearing. It was about 10 feet deep and full with sharp wooden spikes. Then we covered it with branches and leaves and went to our camp to wait. We didn't have to wait very long. In the middle of the night, we could hear a loud scream. Ah! A loud, horrible, gurgling animal scream. We rushed out to the pit, only to find a dead ape impaled on one of the sharp wooden spikes. We dragged the corpse and laid it on the ground. We had what we came for, a dead ape. I wanted to go home. The other hunter had other ideas. He wanted to capture a live one. I tried to talk him out of it. There was no reasoning with him. Nothing I could say would dissuade him. He took out a knife and started to skin the ape's body. As he worked, I nervously watched the jungle around us. It was dark. I could feel the eyes of the other apes watching us. I couldn't shake the creeping fear that they knew that we killed one of them and would come to take revenge. When the hunter finished skinning the ape, he put the skin and wore it like a costume. We removed the wooden spikes from the pit and placed a big log across it, disguising it in his ape costume. The hunter balanced the log, and I covered it up with branches and leaves again. His plan was to trick one of the other apes to come closer so it would fall into the trap. He crouched there on the log and waited until the camp came. Waited until I went back to our camp. It was almost dawn, and I was about to doze off when I heard a scream. I rushed in to check the pit, but it was empty. My friend, the hunter, was nowhere to be seen. I called out his name. There was no reply. I searched for hours, but all I could find was no trace of him. I was about to give up when I spotted a figure in the jungle. It was Hunter. He was crouched down under a tree naked as the day he was born, and he was staring at me with a blank stare on his face. Hunter, I cried. Good Lord, what happened to you? I thought you were dead, man. Why don't you answer me? Hunter didn't say a word. Slowly, he rose to his feet, and he just stood out there, and he started, ha, 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 and then he took off. Ha, 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 he. The man was shaking and laughing so much he could barely control himself. His body was racked in spasms and madness. What do you mean, said the doctor. What did he take off? Giggling like a maniac, the man shrugged to finish his story. Ha, ha, he, ha. The ape took the hunter's skin. So the ape was wearing the human skin. Creepy. You guys are doing a laugh now. Oh my god. Granny locked me in my room. She wouldn't let me out. She said it was because I was bad. Sometimes. What the fuck was that? Oh, it was a big old car or something. Shaking the whole house. Sometimes I do bad things. Ever since Mommy went away, Granny says my mommy's in heaven. I don't know how she got there. I still remember Mommy. I remember her long black hair and her dark eyes. I remember her red lips and her white teeth. I remember her soft skin. I remember the way she smelled. Her red dress smells like her. It's hanging in the wardrobe in the bathroom. It's hanging in the wardrobe in the bedroom. Granny always keeps Mommy's room locked. She said I'm not allowed to go in there, but I don't know why. But I do know where she hides the key. Sometimes when Granny falls asleep, I sneak in there and smell Mommy's red dress. I have a friend called Marianne. She lives across the street. Sometimes she comes over to my house and play. She comes over actually today. We were playing with the dolls. Granny told me, don't go into your mother's room. Okay, I said. When Granny took her nap, I told Marianne, let's play dress up. So I got the key from Grandma's hiding place, unlocked the door to Mommy's bedroom, and went inside. It was almost too dark to see. This is where my mommy lives. You don't have a mommy, Marianne said. That made me angry. I opened the wardrobe and took out this red silk dress. This is Mommy's dress, I said. I held it up to show her. It stinks, Marianne said. It doesn't stink. It smells like flowers. It smells like dead things, she said. That's made me even more angry. Who's that? Marianne said. She was pointing at a picture. That's my mommy. Isn't she beautiful? She's ugly, Marianne said. Her eyes creep me out and her teeth are weird. No, she hasn't, I said. She almost looks like the most beautiful girl in the world. She looks like a dead thing, Marianne said. This made me angriest of all. I don't remember what happened after that, but I think I heard Marianne screaming. I don't remember why. It was dark, and it was dark, and I almost couldn't see. I couldn't hear anything but Marianne screaming. I think something bad happened. Then I remember Grandma shouting at me. She was crying too. She took the red dress. She was really rough, and she kept hitting me. I was crying too. Granny fetched the washcloth and wiped the blood off my face. She told me over and over how bad I was. Then she dragged me upstairs and locked me in my room. I looked out the window and saw that Granny was in the backyard. She was burying something with a shovel. I must have done something really bad. Hey, Cemetery Hunter, what's going on? Good to see you. Moist. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for everybody who has been joining me so far. I really appreciate it, guys. Alrighty. Let's see here. I know, Marianne got whacked. Let's see. My little sister was only 7 years old when she was killed. They found her laying dead in a ditch. It was late at night and the rain was pouring down, washing the blood from her pale skin. Her throat had been cut and her eyes were still open, and she stared blankly at the sky as the rain beat down on her. The police never found who had killed her. They buried her in the graveyard, not too far from our house. At the funeral, my father held me tightly against my chest. Held me tightly against his chest. The tears were running down my cheeks. My mother couldn't come. She was too sick. Back then, we all lived together. We were a lot of us: my mother, my father, my uncle, my aunt, my 3 cousins, and I, and my sister. Not long after the funeral, my sister came back. I saw her outside my window every single night, scratching the glass. Her eyes were just hollow sockets. Her cheeks were sunken in, and her hair was matted with dirt. Her thin lips were drawn back from her teeth in kind of a sickly grin. Every night, she just stood there in the rain, clawing at the window, trying to get in. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I opened the window and she crawled inside. She stank of the grave. She was cold to the touch, deathly cold. She didn't speak. She never said a word. She just curled up in the corner and watched me as I slept. When I woke up in the morning, she would be gone. All that was left was the muddy foot tracks. Muddy tracks on the bedroom floor. One night, she seemed to be trying to tell me something. She kept pointing to a picture of my uncle. She grabbed my arm, and her fingers felt like ice. I couldn't understand what she was trying to say. Then, all at once, a chill ran down my spine. I realized that my uncle was somehow involved in her death. I began to grow very frightened of him. All right, have a good night, Robert. Are you heading out? Hmm. Yeah, it might. It might have stirred something up. One night, it seemed to be trying to tell me something. Oh. After that, things have began to fall in place. I understood why my sister kept coming back. She wanted revenge. She wanted my uncle to pay for what he had done. On a rainy night, my uncle took me for a long walk to the cliffs. He stopped at the edge. He glazed over the sea, and the grass was wet and slippery. The moment he turned his back, I knew it was my chance. I gathered all my strength and kicked him in the back. I still remember that expression on his face that was twisted and turned, desperately trying to regain his balance, but it was no use. He toppled over the side. I crawled to the edge, his body laying on the jagged rocks below. His arms and legs twisted in odd angles. His skull was smashed and his neck was broken. There was bright red blood trickled down onto the stones. When the police came, I pretended to cry, told them that he had slipped and had no reason to doubt me. After all, I was just a child. That night, my parents wanted me to sleep in their room. I told them that I wanted to be alone, but my father was torn by his brother's death. I didn't have the heart to tell him the truth. I waited for my sister, but she never came. Before I went to sleep, I left the window open. In the middle of the night, I was awoken to the sound of screaming. My sister was kneeling on the floor of the bedroom. She was withering in pain, and her fingernails were scratching at her face. She was a mess. Her face was starting to become bloody, and her skin was hanging off. "What have you done?" she screamed at me over and over again. I was so scared I couldn't move. All I did was watch and screamed and sobbed as she tore her own flesh off with her own bony, bloody fingers. She then I must have blacked out. When I woke up, she was gone. I never understood that horrible thing. I never understood the horrible thing that I had done to my sister until we went to the graveyard for my uncle's funeral. They buried my uncle in the same grave as hers. My sister never came back. Night, Robert. Have a good night. Feel better. Oh, did he head out? Oh, you want to stay. Gotcha. Yeah, that was a good one. That's a good story right there. One beautiful hot summer, a teenage girl named Julie was swimming with her boyfriend in this family pool. They decided to go skinny dipping. Her boyfriend stood behind her and wrapped his arms around her. He kissed her shoulder as they gazed at the night sky and dreamed of their future together. A few moments later, they heard a strange noise that seemed to be coming from the bushes, but they were not paying much attention. They were so comfortable together. And just then, when Julie turned her head to kiss her boyfriend, she didn't realize anything was behind her. She swirled around and realized that her boyfriend's head was missing. It had been cut clean off. She screamed as his headless corpse sank to the bottom of the pool. In a panic, she scrambled out of the pool and began to run toward inside the house to warn her parents. When she got to the kitchen, she came face to face with her stepfather, who was washing his bloody hands in the sink. Oh, you're back. Awesome. Thank you so much for the 21 people watching. I really appreciate it, guys. Much love and light. A Japanese urban legend. A student decided to visit one of his friends. He was excited because he hadn't seen his friend in a while. And when they got to his friend's house and found a very young man laying in bed underneath the covers, they talked for a while, and the student found that his friend's behavior was very strange. After a while, he stood up to leave, and his friend said, "You can't go." His voice was urgent, and his face was deadly serious. "Why not?" the student asked. "She wouldn't let you leave," replied his friend with a fearful face. "She?" The student looked around the room. "Who's she?" He couldn't see anybody else in the room. "If you go, she will follow you, and she will kill you," said his friend. The student started stared at his friend immensely. He saw that his friend's glance towards the chest of drawers in the corner of his room. He followed his friend's eyes and looked at the chest of drawers. A chill ran down his spine. In the shadows was a narrow 5 centimeter gap between the wall and the chest of drawers. He saw a paper-thin woman staring back at him. Her hand was clutching an ice pick. Yep. I would have just knocked that old lady out. Take your ass pick. That's fine. Dang, I will have to send you the story when I saw the ghost of my friend who was killed in the front of my house. Jeez, Sheila, you'll have to send me that one. That's crazy. Yeah, what's up, Robert? Oh. I'm sorry for your friend. That's rough. Well, I can only really feel the interaction if it's spiritual. I can sometimes feel it from different locations, but when it's people, I can only really sense people's energy when it comes in contact with me, if that makes sense. I'm sure you're not crazy, man. Yeah, that's rough, Sheila. Sorry you had to go through that. All right. Yeah, it'd have to be more in person if it was like a human to human interaction with like the empathic ability. Spirits tend to give off like a different aura aura, so I can sense them sometimes even at my friend's house when we're doing the live streams. Well, maybe you should consider maybe trying to move or something. I don't know how to help you, man. I can do my best, but my advice is I would get some crystals. I would put a cross. I would get a blessed cross in your house, maybe some sage, cleanse out the negative and sad energy out of your home and bring in the good energy. That's the best way I think that might be able to help you. It's just to cleanse your home of that negative energy. Oh, sorry. I lost my best friend in Costa Mesa on Pacific Coast Highway. What was that? 2015, 14, 2014. No, it was 2015. Sorry. My buddy Kevin, he was driving his motorcycle drunk. Well, he was impaired. I'm not sure if it was alcohol or weed, but he was impaired riding his motorcycle really fast and he hit a car head on. And he died instantly. That was probably the worst phone call I've ever gotten in my entire life. I personally was hit by a drunk driver on Highway 101 here in Central California, and she flipped me into the guardrail at over 80 miles an hour. I barely made it out of that one. So, my message to anybody that thinks driving and drinking is okay, it's not. Please do not drink and drive. That's all I ask. I had to have 4 surgeries to try to fix my lung. My jaw was wired. I had a cast on my arm. I should have died. So please don't drink and die. Please just don't drink and drive. The whole front of my car to the windshield had gotten sheared off, and I rolled 4 times. Yeah, drinking and driving don't mix. I've lost too many people, and I've been killed almost so many times driving for Uber, and people were driving drunk. Like, it's scary, guys. It's what a lot of people say, man. A lot of mediums will tell me that I have a light around me. I don't know what that means. Well, there is a light around me. It's this light. No, I'm playing. Yeah, don't drink and drive. I walk everywhere. Walking in is dangerous too. Cars pay no attention to people walking. Yeah. My brother did die, but they brought him back in the helicopter. Yeah, so I did technically die in my accident too. When the car rolled over, the airbag delayed and basically collapsed my lung, and also kind of sent my heart into cardiac arrest when I flipped my car. And they had to do CPR to bring me back. It was very quick. That time was very, very quick. It was a matter of like 3 or 4 minutes. It wasn't even that. I think it was like two minutes. They brought me back pretty quick, but it seemed like an eternity. I had to be told a lot of what happened because I didn't know. But in 2012, when I didn't mistakenly, I was trying to kill myself back then. I overdosed on drugs and on intentionally, and I woke up 3 days later and I was in a coma. So, yeah, don't drink and drive and do drugs. They're bad. Perfect example. Yeah, I've died. I've died more than once. I took my new car, the whole driver's side. They said if he had hit 2 inches further back, I would have been dead because of the gas tank. Jesus, so scary. Yeah. Yeah, I have a crazy life story, guys. I used to make some really bad decisions, and I learned from them. And I use it to help others because I don't want to see people go down the path that I went down. Even though I'm only 26 years old, I've seen some stuff happen. I drove drunk myself. I drove drunk myself into a culvert once. Ended up in the hospital a long time ago. Yeah, you don't drink anymore though. That's good. I just twice from. Oh wow, Kim, that sucks. Yeah, see, we all have kind of a story like what we went through. Yeah. No matter how much I hate stuff, Donna Rock Fam has subscribed to your channel. Well, thank you, Donna. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. Yep, we're all in this together. Exactly. Yeah, guys, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. If you guys haven't already. That's a lot of crazy. A lot of us have these stories. Yep. Stress does cause way too many issues. I've been under a lot of stress lately myself. I'm actively trying to find a new job. Found out today that earlier in the day had a job interview, and then found out later in the afternoon that they had called me and told me it was already filled. So a really good opportunity kind of became a no opportunity with this company. But that's just the first one. I sent my resume to a bunch of places, so shouldn't have a hard time trying to find some new work. I'm still working at the other place. I'm just looking for something better. If it wasn't for the fams, I might be here now. Yeah, I was really disappointed. I've just been having kind of a shitty day today, and thought I had a really good job opportunity up to $18 an hour, and turned out that they already filled the position. Something that I was very qualified in doing. But maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it becomes something in the future. Who knows? What's that phrase? Shit happens? Yeah, that's it. But yeah. Thanks, Sharpshooter. I appreciate it. Oh, your job was eliminated? That's no good. That sucks. Well, I'm still employed. I'm just looking for something better. I just can't stand sitting behind a desk doing hotel management. It's just not my forte. Thank you, guys. I know. Lucky you. I wish I could be retired. All right. This story is called Bouquet of Flowers. Oh, guys. Oh, man. It's been a long day today. I'm exhausted. There was a woman named Mary who worked in technical support as a support specialist in the call center. It was very busy and the phones were ringing off the hook. She was having trouble keeping up with the huge number of calls. Shortly after lunch, Mary answered the phone. It was a very angry customer on the other end. He said he had been on hold for almost 45 minutes. She apologized for keeping him waiting, but the man was so aggravated he did not want to listen to her excuses. When she was not able to find a solution to the problem immediately, she became even more upset. She put him on hold, and when she came back, he was very hostile towards her. Mary asked him to remain calm and assured him that she would fix this problem as soon as possible. No matter what she said, it seemed to make him more and more angry. He was shouting at her, ranting and raving, and about how she was wasting his precious time and complaining about how much money the phone call was costing him. Eventually, the irate customer began to curse and swear at Mary, and she was forced to hang up on him. An hour later, he called back. His attitude was even worse. He flew into a rage and demanded to know why she had hung up the phone. When she started to hear the foul language again, she slammed down the receiver. At the end of the day, the man called back again. This time he had calmed down and seemed embarrassed. He apologized for his rude behavior and asked her name, telling her that he wanted to send her something to make up for it. "Oh, you don't need to do that," said Mary. "No, I really do," said the man. "Just a little present to show how sorry I am." "No, we're actually not supposed to give out our names," she said wearily. "Just give me your name then, first name then." "Well, my name is Mary." Sure enough, when Mary arrived at work the next morning, there was a lavish bouquet of flowers sitting on her desk. The card had her name on it. Mary was so delighted. Nobody had ever done that before. At the end of the day, when the shift ended, Mary said goodbye to her coworkers, picked up the bouquet of flowers, and walked out to the car park. When she wanted to get the flowers home as quickly as possible, she put them in a vase. She was about to get into the car when she turned around and saw a small, balding, middle-aged man walking towards her. Suddenly, he pulled out a gun and pointed it at her. "Nobody hangs up on me," he shouted as he pulled the trigger. Mary was shot 4 times and died on the way to the hospital. The police tracked down the man who shot her and arrested him. It turned out he was an angry customer. He had sent the bouquet of flowers in order to identify her. Wow. That's scary as shit. But I try to stream usually in between 2 and 3 hours. If it's a major like disaster kind of stuff, Like, I do cover, like, weather-related stuff, too, not just the paranormal. I cover weather-related, like, disasters, like hurricanes and tornado outbreaks and stuff like that. I used to work with the National Weather Service. So, I used to work as a storm spotter / chaser. I never really made any money at it, though. That's why I kind of quit doing it. Oh man, I swear I wear a name tag. Not good. Uh, yeah. I do a lot of like weather related disasters. Like I spent the whole weekend like covering the tornado disaster that was going on in Mississippi and Alabama. Yeah, I've been through a hurricane. Yeah, glad you did that. That is dangerous. Yeah, it was pretty scary. I'm glad I got to help some people. There was a lot of the people affected by those storms, and sad that a few people died. Actually, I think there was 8 or 9 people. I don't remember though. Yeah, it didn't give me much information of Andrew that went through Florida. Yeah, Andrew was pretty. Yeah, I was the only person covering it. Actually, all of YouTube. You did really good on those live streams. Oh, I appreciate it, Scaredy Cat. Yeah, it was a lot of work. I'm glad I got to help some people. That was the main goal. I didn't want anybody getting killed. I wanted to try to give people that might have just been watching YouTube and were in that area and saw that there was a tornado outbreak coming, and I wanted to notify people as much as possible what was going on. I have some really exciting news about that stream too, which is crazy. Let's see, what did it total out to now? 2,274 views on that live stream. There's a lot of people from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and the East Coast watching. It was a pretty big stream for me personally. Yeah, Andrew was pretty bad. I'll be covering hurricane season this year. Oh, yes, I will. I wish I was out on the East Coast. 1.5-mile wide debris ball in that outbreak. Jeez. Yep. I was the only person covering it on YouTube, and the Weather Channel wasn't even reporting during the worst part of that outbreak. None of the news stations were covering it. I was the only person covering it on YouTube at that time. Yeah, it was a pretty bad tornado outbreak. Oh, I heard about that. I don't really cover like those kind of current events. I usually do like Mother Nature type natural disasters, uh, tornadoes, wildfires, maybe, and hurricanes. Yeah, the East Coast was awesome weather coverage. You did great. Oh, thank you so much, Brenda. I know, what a beautiful building. Not almost 1,000-year-old building completely gone. I wish my After Dark streams, because I do get a lot of good paranormal evidence. I just wish they got the eyes that some of my other streams that I do. Ooh, somebody's watching something. Will you cover hurricanes down here? No, I'll be covering hurricanes from here, but I'll be tracking them. If one gets near, if I think one is going really close to the East Coast, I'll start covering it actively with like different radar systems and tracking it. A weatherman was even in your chat. Oh yeah, there was a weather guy in my chat. That was cool. You doing more spirit box sessions? Not tonight. I did the spirit box session that I needed to do tonight. If I do it too much, I start to get really affected by it. So I try to keep them a little short. But I just got so drained just now. Like I am exhausted. And this is weird because it's only 11 o'clock. Usually I'm up late, but I'm gonna try to make it until midnight. But I did work the morning shift, so that's probably why I'm tired. No weather channel has even covered anything here. Yeah, it's crazy. Man, that one spirit box session, man, that really drained me. I swear there's some energy here that always is robbing me of my energy. Like I don't know what it is. It's like kind of like vampiric. Like it doesn't drain your blood, but it drains your energy. Emotional vampire, kind of. So you went, yes, went 2 EVP live streams today. Very drained. Yep. All right, let's see. Yeah, I know when I'm tired when I can't read these because Let me go get some water real quick. I'll be right back. And it's weird because I just had like a cup of coffee just a little bit ago, which is strange. All right. There was a little girl who lived in an apartment building. One day, she told her mother she was going out to play with her friends. Let's see how long this is going to be. Oh, this is a short story. Hours later, the girl's mother went to call her in for dinner. She realized that her daughter was nowhere to be found. Her mother asked all the kids in the neighborhood if they had seen her daughter. All of them told her they hadn't seen the little girl all day. The awful realization sunk in. The little girl was missing. The girl's parents called the police and searched the surroundings. The search of the surroundings was launched. All the other parents and the apartment building joined the search. It was fruitful. It was fruitless. In the end, the little girl was never found. 3 months later, the residents of the apartment began to complain about their drinking supply. Whenever they turned on the water, their taps in their apartments noticed a strange odor. Gradually, the apartment manager started to receive more and more complaints about the residents about the taste and the smell of the water. They decided that something had to be done and told the janitor to test the water in the storage tanks on the roof. The janitor went up to the roof and began to removing the lids of the tanks, checking for chemical content in the water. When he got to the last tank, he lifted the lid and he was hit with an overpowering stench. Glazed down in the murky depths, he was able to make out something floating in the water. It was the decomposing body of a child. After the police conducted an autopsy, they said that they were able to confirm that the corpse of the little girl had been. They were able to confirm that it was the corpse of the little girl who had gone missing 3 months before. It seems she was playing on the roof when the lid of the storage tank was temporarily removed. Apparently, she looked in the tank and must have fallen into the water and drowned. The little girl's corpse had laid there, undisturbed, for 3 whole months. And for 3 whole months, the inhabitants of the apartment unknowingly had been drinking water that the little girl's decomposing corpse was floating in. That's gross. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I think so. I think that is based off of that story. And you know what? That place has a long history too. The one you're talking about, what is it called? They filmed American Horror Story there too. The Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Yeah, that whole thing is just odd if you research that. It really happened. Some lady was found decomposing in the water tank at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. Yeah, I would love to get into that freaking building. Not only was she found dead in the water tank decomposing into the water supply, but Richard Ramirez and the other serial killer known as the Night Stalker used to live there. And who knows what they did at that hotel. That place has a long history of bad things that happen. Not to mention that it's completely in Skid Row. They changed the name of it. Well, they're making it into apartments. It's actually abandoned. Yeah, they what did they change the name to? Yeah, it's completely abandoned now. That place did not stay open very long. I forgot what they changed the name of. Oh, they called it the Stay. The Stay at Main Street. Yeah, they renamed it the Stay. But yeah, that place is you can I don't know. I would have a hard time with the things that have gone there to stay a night there. Yeah. Just got back. You're talking about the Asian girl. Yes. Yeah, they're actually going to be putting it up into, they're actually going to be creating apartments out of it. Kind of like condos. Yeah, I live 4 hours from that place. I don't think I would ever go in. Not a snowball's chance in hell. I don't think I would stay there, honestly. Nor live there, yeah. Yeah, Lamb, yeah, her last name was Lamb, I think. Lamb, Elisa Lamb, yeah. Oh, I wouldn't stay there, bro. I get up early and edit some videos, bro. Left my PC with you streaming. Have a good one. All right, have a good night, man. Take care. I would not stay overnight. Yeah, that's for sure. There's certain places that are just not worth the YouTube views. I've had this discussion with Lou Rock, with other people. There's just some places that are not worth it to me to investigate again, like the murder house, like the pet cemetery. The pet cemetery gave me an awful feeling. Do some EVPs in the hallway and get out. Right now I have a family member sleeping, so I'm not going to be going into the hallway. Oh, you're talking about in that hotel? Yeah. Well, I think it's abandoned. I think you can't get into there. The Black Monk House? Yeah. You don't know which ones are going to come home with you exactly. Yeah. No, I got that now, Christina. I got that now. Yeah, I don't know. If I could get into that place, I would definitely do some EVPs, but I would not stay the night. A lot of people jumped out of a room from a certain floor. From that building? Huh. That's in England, the Black Monk House. Yikes. That place sounds pretty crazy. Thank you so much for the 23 people watching. I really appreciate it, you guys. I know I've been off of my normal content for quite a while now. I'll try to be doing some more live streams coming up here in the future. Robert the Doll would be another one. That'd be pretty crazy. Finally home, we got stuck worse than ever. Oh, geez. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna sign off for the night. I gotta go work at 7:30 in the morning. So, hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Much love and light, and I will be trying to maybe do. I have a few days off coming up, starting tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing some job search, but I'll try to make time to do some maybe go to the local cemetery again and do like an EVP session or something. do something crazy, do something fun. But yeah, I'll let you guys know, and I'll be setting something up to do a live stream at a location, even though if it's the local cemetery, or yeah. If I have the money, maybe I'll go to another place and check it out. But all right. Hey, Kelly Snow was on and off. Thank you. Love the comment. Oh, I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, love the content. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this. If anybody's new here, please subscribe to my channel. Much love and light. And remember to always keep it spooky, my friends. Take care.